broken. Some call me nothing more than a failure. I guess I'm nothing more than an honest, broken failure. And I don't give a shit about what you have to say, and I really don't care, 'cause I'm made this way. I am what I am, and I don't give a damn. And if you don't like it, well, please just walk away. Please just walk away. Please call me drunk, and please just call me rough. Please just call me disappointment. I guess I'm nothing more than a drunk, rough disappointment. But I don't give a shit about what you have to say, and I really don't care, 'cause I'm made this way. I am what I am, and I don't give a damn. And if you don't like it, well, just walk away. Walk away. But I don't give a shit about what you have to say, and I really don't care, 'cause I'm made this way, and I don't give a damn. And if you don't like it, well, please just walk away. Walk away. Won't be nothing more than an honest, broken failure.
Who's from Fort Washington, Maryland. He went to Gonzaga High School down there in D.C., so he plays for North Carolina A&T, and they're playing in the Celebration Bowl this weekend down there in beautiful Atlanta at the brand new stadium down there. So, Turner, thanks for joining us. Just talk about you guys undefeated this year and playing in this bowl game. Explain to the folks what this bowl game is all about.
Honestly, I would have to say this bowl game means everything to us, because when I first got there in 2014, we never had an opportunity to go to a bowl game. And so what happened when we first got our first opportunity in 2015, we went, and now we're back at it again. So when everybody said, Coach Barway said, if y'all want to play in the playoffs or do you guys want to play in a Celebration Bowl? Everybody said Celebration Bowl. So this game means everything to us.
Oh, okay. So you guys could choose if you wanted to play in the playoffs or you could play in a bowl game. I didn't know you could do that. That's cool.
Right. Yep.
Nice. So you guys went undefeated this year, and then
yes, sir.
So this year and this weekend you took on Grambling State. Yeah, Grambling University. So just talk about that team. What do you see on their offense?
Obviously, everybody's going to say the running back and quarterback, and that's basically what our main game plan is around them. So we basically, it's kind of a different speed. The offensive line is a little slower than the running backs and quarterback, so we're going to take them to an advantage.
Well, just talk about you. How did North Carolina A&T get on your radar as a kid growing up, in around the D.C. area?
Honestly, they reached out to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a little bit of interest in the recruiting game with Trey Oliver. He used to coach here. Now he's at Southern University.
Okay. All right. So they just basically found you and said, "Hey, would you like to come?" And where is North Carolina A&T? That people don't know where that is.
It's in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Okay, so you're right down the street from Wake Forest, pretty much.
Yes.
So just talk about your season and what are you? You're a redshirt. What year are you? Redshirt junior.
Yes, redshirt junior.
Okay. So what is your? Are you going to stick around for your senior, redshirt senior year, or are you going to get a couple more years of playing college football with them?
I'll stick around for my redshirt senior year, for my last year, just to give it out with the boys one more last time for my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this was a really great season, and I really appreciate all of the boys, especially the seniors. They really helped me out when I first got in.
That's cool. Well, what is life after? What are you learning down there in NC State, NC A&T? What are you learning?
Oh, I'm an applied engineering technology major.
Okay. So is that something that you're going to fall back on? Do you want to go to the NFL, or have you thought about that?
Oh, the dream is always the NFL. If not, I always do have my backup plan.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes.
Nice. Well, Turner, I appreciate you joining me today. I know on a short notice, and I appreciate you, giving me a call this evening. And I hope you guys good luck this weekend. That game's on ABC, right?
Yes, sir. On ABC at 12 noon.
So everybody around here, everybody in the country will get a chance to watch you guys play Grambling. That's pretty good. So.
Yes, sir.
All right, Turner, thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your practices this week, and good luck on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, man. Thanks, buddy. Talk to you later.
Okay.
My eyes are getting weary, my back is getting tight. I'm sitting here in traffic on the Queensboro Bridge tonight. But I don't care, 'cause all I wanna do is cash my check and drive right home to you. 'Cause baby, all my life I will be driving home to you.
Back to the college football tonight here on HerbFM Sports Radio here in Baltimore, and we have Mike Truman with us. He used to do the JMU football and basketball, but now if you go to the press box there at the beautiful stadium there and there on the campus, he does the internal, tells everybody what the plays are and all that stuff, and he's on the phone with us. So Mike, talk about this game this Saturday. Winner goes to Frisco, so the team's been rolling.
JMU yesterday, being Coach Houston, a 10-year extension.
Mm-hmm.
Houston was quoted in the release by JMU that he is going to, he has already received FBS offers But he and his family and his wife and his young boys seem to love it here. And believe me, you talk to Mickey Matthews, and Coach Matthews is pretty darn popular here because he took us to our first title in 2004. But Coach Houston has done what nobody, I think, could have believed, and that is taken what was a defensively disoriented ball club with a great quarterback in Van Lee, but unproven anybody else, and has won 25 straight games. Now, I can tell you that if the Dukes were healthy, I think the Dukes are an easy runaway winner and would give North Dakota State or Sam Houston a big effort in the championship game.
Yeah.
But the Dukes are without three offensive linemen, and as you well know, if your offensive line is shaky, the most amazing thing about the Weber State game is how well the Dukes did in total yardage in the game, both on the ground or in the air, because, to be perfectly frank, the offensive line is now young and untested.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a couple of guys.
Yeah, and I was watching that game last Friday night, and Weber State's, I think they picked off an interception in the beginning of the game, and they marched in for a 7-0 score, and then right away the Dukes came back and used that running game and tied the game at 7-7. I was trying to get a hold of Coach Houston this week and ask him, how was it good to have your team rebound from, throwing that, pick six, getting that, Weber State score first, and then you guys came back and tied the game right away, and that was pretty good for a good team like that.
Well, and that's what this team has done. Now, the Dukes have rarely been down in the, matter of fact, I think this past Friday night was the first time the Dukes were down as late as the fourth quarter. And in this case, it was, 3:04 to go in the game. The Dukes are down and by 10. And things weren't looking good, but a good punt return or a kick return, and then Brian Shore hitting a 40-yarder to Riley Stapleton. And you're down by 2. The Dukes haven't had to try too many two-point conversion tries. It looked like tailback was going to be stopped, and instead he is able to use second effort and get into the end zone. And all of a sudden, you're tied, and then the defense comes up with a huge stop, and then the offense works it over. And Ethan Ratke, who's a redshirt freshman, comes in and hits a career-high 46-yarder. The only end-of-game field goal I can remember was one that former Dukes kicker hit at William & Mary back when Mickey Matthews was coaching. And that was in the gloaming because it was foggy and misty and all that.
Yeah.
This one was high enough, far enough, and through there, as I used to say in 29 years as JMU football, basketball, women's basketball broadcaster.
Yeah. So you do the internal public address announcing. So do you enjoy doing that now better than doing the play-by-play?
I'll tell you what, it gives me, my good friend Kevin Warner, who is in charge now of media relations and as such, and Chris Brooks, who is the SID for football, are great. I still have a lot of friends in the media that I get to see, pretty regularly because of this. They named the radio broadcast booth after me.
Oh, cool.
I have a daily talk show in Harrisonburg from 3 to 6 every afternoon. I'm not retired, but it's okay. It's worked well, and Coach Houston and his team are just a joy to watch. If you love football and college football, I think we all do, when you look at a team that has every game since he has coached, and I told you this at the end of last year, it didn't change. It hasn't changed at all this year.
Right.
I've never seen a JMU football team. And again, I've got 29 years of them, and then a couple of others. I've never seen a JMU football team ready to play at the kickoff of the first half and the kickoff of the second half.
Wow.
There's no dead periods. They may struggle sometime. Brian Shore may miss a pass. He's not Carson Wentz, for heaven's sakes. The Dukes receivers have been pretty darn good.
Right.
And you talked about Marcus Marshall scoring the touchdown. Marcus, whose dad's games I used to do here, was pick of the Denver Broncos back in the day, and is the all-time leading single-season rusher.
Wow.
And his son Marcus has been up and down this year because he's gone from a triple option in which he's basically the dive back a real tailback.
Yeah.
And, and with that spread option, you've really got to learn to take your blocks a totally different way. So it's been an education. And he had a great Saturday against that tough Weber State defense.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, so this week they take on a South Dakota State squad that basically is, basically they're taking on a South Dakota State squad that beat New Hampshire last week. And I talked to the coach today on the phone, and they jumped out right on the Wildcats real quick. Yeah.
Well, that surprised me a little bit, but all throughout this season we've heard how good this South Dakota State football team is, and there's been a lot of trash talk on Facebook between North Dakota State fans and South Dakota State fans. And, that they're hoping for an all-Dakota championship game down in Frisco. Of course, JMU had a great showing last year at Frisco, and the fans have come out and support the Dukes. It's going to be a chilly Saturday late afternoon. I mean, kickoff is scheduled for 4:30 something, and, it'll be dark by 4:45. But the JMU student body did a great job staying in the game. And it was a big difference maker in that game. This Saturday, they're keeping the dorms open for any student who has a ticket all the way till Sunday, even though classes stopped today.
Yeah. Well, Mike, I appreciate you joining me tonight. I got people calling on the other line and all that stuff, so people loved us tonight. So I appreciate you joining us, and I hope to talk to you more, probably during the week of the championship game, hopefully.
My pleasure, and Merry Christmas to all of your listeners, and thanks very much for having me.
All right, Mike. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you later. Have a great Christmas.
You take care. Bye.
All right, bye.
Some call me honest, some call me broken, some call me nothing more than a failure. I guess I'm nothing more than an honest, broken failure. And I don't give a shit about what you have.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us here on the College Football Tonight. We're going to switch a little bit over to basketball because in a couple weeks we'll be covering a lot of the college basketball around here with the CAA and the ACC and all that stuff. We have Pat Scarry with us, the head coach of the Towson Tiger men's basketball team, off to a great start this year. So, Coach Pat, thanks for joining us. Talk about your team because I've been covering a lot of football, so I've been trying to catch up with you guys. So how's the first couple months of basketball?
Yeah, we're obviously off to a good start. We're 10-1, and we've won 10 straight. We're getting a lot of contributions from a lot of very good players. We're deep. Most talented we've had. Zane Martin's been leading the charge for us, getting about 18 points a game, and he's made a big jump from his freshman year, and so has Justin Gorham. But then we've got good seniors that have been around, and Brian Starr, Eddie Keith, Deshaun Mormon, Mike Morcell, and we kind of rounded out with a lot of other experienced guys that people know, like Jordan McNeil, Alex Thomas, and Dennis Tunstall. So it's a deep group. Like I said, we've won 10 in a row, and we've got a couple more tough games before we get into conference play.
Yeah, just talk about your schedule. You guys don't play until next week, right? When you guys go out to Oakland?
Yeah, we're off exactly a week from now. Right now we'll be battling against a very good Oakland Grizzly team. We played a lot of games in a short stretch, and we're in finals right now, so we really needed a break, not just academically, but I think physically and mentally, and we're getting ready to play an Oakland team, which I think will be the best team we've played to date.
Yeah. Well, talk about, you guys played overseas beginning of this year. What was it like playing in Ireland? I heard you guys had a great time over there. You won a tournament over there and all that stuff. Just talk about that experience for the players on your squad.
Yeah, it was different. Obviously, it's the first time the NCAA's allowed games, regular season games, be played over in Ireland. We were in Belfast, so up in Northern Ireland, and it was a great tournament. 5,000 people were there each day for the games, and they were on national national TV, and we were able to beat a terrific LaSalle team out of the Atlantic 10. And it followed up with a close victory over Manhattan. Their league was like the host league. So we wish we could have stayed a little bit longer, but it was a good time. And I didn't have any of my student athletes ever been to Europe before, so it was a good, I think it's an experience to look back on fondly.
Yeah. Well, you play Oakland next week, and then you also go back to where you used to coach in Pittsburgh. So is that one of those things that you're looking forward to go back to the Pittsburgh area?
Well, I hope it's not crowded at the pit like when my year I worked for Coach Dixon. That was like going into a hornet's nest. I hope they'll be kind to us. It's a great place. Obviously, Pitt's an unbelievable institution, great tradition. There's been a lot of changeover since I've been there, but we know they're going to be a well-coached, tough ACC opponent.
Yeah. Well, talk about the arena. You guys are also, besides your basketball team, you also host the soccer team, the Blast. So how's that relationship with that organization? Do you know?
It seems great. They get great crowds. They get more people onto our campus, into our terrific venue. I mean, CQ Arena is as nice a venue as you'll find anywhere. So I think it's going good. We don't unfortunately get to probably see them a lot because we're usually playing opposite them, on the road. We're home, they're on the road. But they've got a great team, and it's good to have another winner in that building. Yeah.
Well, Coach, I know you're a busy guy. I know what are you doing this week to keep yourself loose and you don't want to get yourself, your players, you have finals and all that stuff. How are you guys keeping yourselves in basketball mode?
I mean, for me, watching a lot of tape, doing a little recruiting. My wife got a list of chores for me to do that I had to catch up on, so I'm trying to keep myself out of the doghouse, and then it moves quick after this.
Yeah, and conference play starts the 30th of December.
30th of December, we're down at the College of Charleston, who's terrific. Was picked to win the league, so that'll be a big time battle.
Yeah. Well, Coach Scarry, thank you so much. I know you're a busy guy. I hope you and your family have a wonderful holiday, and I hope to see you in the new year because we'll start doing some basketball stuff with you guys, and we'll get rolling.
Same to you, my friend. Have a great night.
All right. We'll be right back here on HerbFM Radio.
Triggered so much better. Pull the trigger so much easier. Pull the trigger so much faster. But there's got to be more to life than
Welcome back to the College Football Tonight. We have Tyler Merriman with us, the play-by-play voice of the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. I was going to say San Diego State, but, I got football in the brain right now. So, South Dakota State, they're going to be playing East against JMU this Saturday. So, Tyler, thanks for joining us. Talk about this game. You guys last week played a good New Hampshire squad, and you jumped out to a quick lead on them and put them away pretty early.
Yeah, Jacks played very well offensively. It's a New Hampshire team that had not allowed more than 21 points in the past 2 months, and SDSU hung 21 on them in the first quarter and really executed well and never really threatened in the game. It was a pretty impressive performance in Brookings in the quarterfinals.
So what do you guys have to do, in your opinion, that for the Jackrabbits to pull out a victory and shock the world on Saturday?
Well, I think from SDSU's standpoint, certainly you look offensively, and the Jacks have a tremendous trio of offensive players in the quarterback Taryn Christian, tight end Dallas Goddard, and wide receiver Jake Winicky, and the Jacks need to get them involved early. I think if SDSU is able to move the ball early and score, that goes a long way. And obviously it's a fairly innocuous statement, but if the Jacks are able to get a couple of scores right away with that defense playing from in front, that's a big advantage because the Jacks are a team that can score a lot of points on a lot of teams. That's the strength of SDSU. So the Jacks need to be able to do that. If James Madison can get to an early lead and play in front, that's a big advantage for the Dukes. I really think kind of how the first 15 minutes goes, if either team is able to distance itself at all, it's going to go a long way towards deciding who wins this.
Yeah, so it seems like JNU has a good defense. I saw them play against New Hampshire this year, and they have a very good secondary, a good defensive area, and they only beat New Hampshire 21-0, but I felt like New Hampshire played better in the second half than the first half. But with this team, you can't leave points on the field, pretty much.
Oh, no question about that. You have to capitalize on every opportunity. James Madison is such a good team, and really I think that's the case with a lot of these teams when you get to this point in the season. You cannot leave things out there. If you have a chance to force a turnover, as Weber State was reminded of in their close loss to JMU last week, you have to capitalize on it. So SDSU can ill afford to take threes when they have an opportunity for 7. They've got to be able to come out and move the football, and that's not going to be an easy task on JMU. By the same token, stopping the Jackrabbit offense will not be an easy task. So it's going to be quite a battle when SDSU's offense is on the field Saturday.
Well, you guys are coming. I talked to Coach today. I talked to Coach Stillheimer on the phone because he was practicing as we speak, because they had finals and all that stuff. So have you been to practice this week, and what did they look like?
Well, I think they look like the confident bunch you would expect. This is a team that is ranked one of the top 5 seeds in the FCS, the only team to beat North Dakota State this year. They're a very confident bunch. They believe they belong here, and they believe they're capable of beating anybody. And certainly when you look at what they've been able to do in the playoffs, I mean, those are 2 pretty darn impressive wins. So they're relaxed, they're loose, and they're looking forward to another opportunity because they believe they are just as deserving as anybody else to be at this point. And now Saturday they have an opportunity to prove it.
Well, you're the analyst, you do the play-by-play. What are the 3 keys for the Jackrabbits? Because I love that nickname, the Jackrabbits. That sounds so... Because my friend and I were talking today on the phone, and there's a lot of schools of, I asked him, what is the best nicknames you like? And he goes, I said, the Jackrabbits sound really good. Yeah. And then you got UGA, you got Georgia, you got other teams. But being a Jackrabbit, I just feel like that's a great nickname for a university.
It is unique, and that's we have a unique mascot and unique nickname. I think that helps us generate some buzz. But talking about keys, I think, and you alluded to some of it, the Jacks have to win the turnover battle. SDSU's taken very good care of the football here down the stretch in this 7-game win streak. They have to win the turnover battle. They can ill afford to hand JMU opportunities. So that's the first thing SDSU has to do. The second thing, I do think a strong start is important. I think if the Jacks are able to build a lead and let that defense play from in front, that's a huge advantage to SDSU. The Jacks are not a team defensively that's built on stopping the run when everybody knows they're going to run. And that's where SDSU's suffered its 2 losses, were teams that got ahead and were able to play from the front. The Jacks have only trailed for 8 minutes in the last 7 games. So that's another key, is getting off to a strong start. Doesn't mean the Jacks need to be up 17-0 right away, but SDSU needs to get off to a good start and get some mojo going. I think the third thing, too, is I think special teams will be very important. And both teams are excellent in the special teams games. Obviously, you see what Racky did at the end of the game, making that 40-plus yard field goal to win it for JMU Friday. Chase Vinatieri is as good as they come in the FCS. He's got kicking in his blood. The kick return games are excellent for both sides. They both cover kicks well. So finding a way to make a big play on special teams could go a long way in what I envision will be a tight game Saturday as well.
Yeah. Well, one last question. I saw a picture on social media last week for the playoff game. Was a lot of people out of town, or did they, because it didn't look filled there at the stadium, or did somebody took one at like beginning of the game?
It certainly was not a filled stadium. It just was the way it worked out with attendance. I'm not sure. Part of it was certainly the weather. It was a cold day, temperature in the mid-20s with some winds. I probably kept some people away. And the other thing, too, this is, first time SDSU's ever hosted this late in the run. And so we have a fan base that certainly is more than capable. At NDSU put over 18,000 people in the seats, but there's developing that culture of December playoff attendance, and hopefully as the years go by and you make multiple appearances here, you're able to increase that number.
Yeah. Well, Tyler, I know you're a busy guy. I appreciate you joining me tonight, and I hope you have safe travels to the East Coast, and hopefully you could bring some nice weather and warm weather, because it's cold outside. We're getting snow showers right now outside the studio here. So.
Well, we're supposed to get some snow here tonight and tomorrow as well, so I don't know if I can bring much of that, but we're looking forward to getting out there.
All right, folks. That's Tyler Merriman, who does the play-by-play for the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. We'll be right back here on HerbFM Radio. All right, folks, we're going to take a little break here for a minute here. We're coming up at 8:25. We got a scheduling change here. At 8:25, we'll have Jeff Kolpeck who writes for the South Dakota State. He's one of the beat writers for the Bison there. And then at around 8:30 or 8:32, we'll have Stefan Dean, the Orlando Sentinel writer, who talks about Florida State football. We'll preview the Independence Bowl. We try to get them on earlier. And then we'll finish up with Coach John Singelminer, the head coach of South Dakota State. So, folks, where you are, going to take a week off next week because it's holiday season around here in HerbFM Radio. But we'll be back on December 27th with we'll preview some of the bowl games coming up. Like the Military Bowl between Virginia and Navy. We'll hope to get some of the some audio or some players from the post game of both the Quick Lane Bowl. We had the Brad Michaels, the executive director, on the show earlier, and the Independence Bowl, where Florida State takes on Southern Miss. So we're going to take a little break here, and we'll get back to we'll get our couple more phone calls, 2 more phone calls. If you are listening to us here on HerbFM Sports Radio, thanks for joining us. Hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. You can listen to us right now on iHeartRadio. You could go to iHeartRadio, type in HerbFM Sports Radio, and you'll see our podcasts, and you can listen to them anytime, anywhere, on your smartphone, your cell phone, your parents' TV. You actually put it on your Chromecast on your TV, so you can listen to us on your big screen TV at home downstairs. So hopefully you guys could tune in for that, and we'll get, in the New Year's, we'll start be doing our college basketball tonight. We'll cover, we had Coach Pat Scarry on from the Towson Tigers men's basketball team. We'll get him on again, and we'll get on some people from the CAA and talk about basketball. So we'll be kicking into basketball high gear in the new year I can't believe it's 2018 next year, in a couple weeks. So we're going to take a little break, and when I come back, we'll get Jeff Kolpeck from the North Dakota football, the beat writer, here on HerbFM Radio. So we'll be right back. So in the meantime, listen to one of the songs from Born Identity. If you'd like to get an email, if you'd like to find out how to get a copy of this album, you can email us at herbfmsportsradio@gmail.com. So here it is, called Trigger.
Dark, so cold, lying in an alley, stay doesn't know which to swallow. Decision of what to do, what to do, what to do. Pull the trigger, it's so much better. Pull the trigger, it's so
radio for college football tonight, and we have Jeff Kolpak with us, who writes for the North Dakota State Bison, and are taking on the Sam Houston State Bearcats this weekend, this Friday night, up there in beautiful, North Dakota. So, Jeff, thanks for joining us. Talk about this game coming up. It's going to be the whole stadium is going to be gold, so it's pretty good for national television.
Well, yeah, it's that time of the year. I guess the people of this fine state who live in this beautiful weather when it's like freezing rain today and snow and who knows what we get, but we just deal with weather. It's just part of the way it is around here in the winter, like a lot of places. But yeah, all eyes certainly are on the Bison. Sam Houston State's been a pretty regular opponent. These two teams played in the 2011-2012 FCS title games, and Sam Houston was up here in 14 for the semis. So it's the fourth time in either the semis or title game for these two, and so they, and neither. It seems like neither of them changed much. The Bison have run the same stuff, Chris, forever.
Right.
It's the basic Tampa 2 defense, West Coast offense. It's just power football, and Sam Houston has been more flamboyant and run and gun and a little more offensively minded. So, and that's what you're going to see again on Friday.
Yeah, talk about Sam Houston State they have a coach who used to coach here in Delaware called Coach Casey Keeler, and it seems like he brought his Delaware offense, but it's a little bit more firepower than the Delaware offense.
Yeah, I'm not really so much familiar with what he did at Delaware, other than he won a national title, and then I know things kind of fell flat there, I think, and moved on. He's a good dude, man. He's fun to talk to. I don't know how many times you've talked to him over the years.
Oh, I talked to him a lot. He's cool.
Yeah. You ask him a question, and next thing you know, it's 5 minutes later, you're thinking about another question. And so I just I like his style. He's got a great quarterback, Jeremiah Briscoe. Here's a guy who you talk about a weird college career. Let me see if I can get this straight now by memory. So it might take something, but he committed to Baylor, then switched to Arkansas, decided that wasn't going to fit. I think that was around the Bobby Petrino stuff going on. Ended up at UAB, Alabama Birmingham. He's there for a year or two. They drop football, so he decides, like a lot of players, it's a fire sale. It's time to leave. He's offered by Florida, but decides, I'm going back. He's from Houston. I'm going back near home. Sam Houston's in Huntsville, Texas, and decides to do more of the home cooking thing. And he set the FCS record for touchdown passes last year with 56, I believe. He has 44 this year. So you're talking some pretty elite stuff there.
Yeah, and it seems like with Coach Keeler, I think Texas is made for him because he's one of those tough guys. And I enjoyed him when he was here in Delaware. Talking to him, he seems like one of those. Like he's in the wrong state, but he's now back in Texas. He seems like he's in Texas. He loves it there.
Yeah, there's a lot of talkers down in Texas. The competition for players has got to be just incredible. It's got to, there's how many schools are there that are D1, FBS, or FCS? It's got to be, I don't know, 15. I mean, it's just a ton. So I can't imagine the competition for recruits that he has to face. But, the roster is mostly Texans. I mean, you look at the roster, and they're too deep. It's 90-95% kids from Texas. So a lot of players down there, and I'm sure he just travels around the state and plucks them.
Yeah. Well, what is the three keys for North Dakota State could pull out a win and have that rematch against JMU if that's a possibility?
I'm sorry, you cut out there.
Sorry. What is the three keys for you think that North Dakota State will do to beat Sam Houston State to play against hopefully a JMU squad in a rematch?
Yeah, the key. Here's the interesting part. If you just look at the stats and at this point of the year, taking in the whole body of work, it's probably somewhat accurate. Where these are the top two scoring offenses in the FCS
Sam Houston's 1, NDSU's 2. Scoring defense, ending NDSU's 2 behind JMU, and Sam Houston's like 90. So there's that one glaring stat there where Sam Houston just doesn't quite fit in with the balance of NDSU. So for NDSU, key is simple. You control the ball, you control the clock, don't turn it over, and the best defense, of course, as we all know, against Sam Houston is not let him have the ball. So it's a pretty easy key, I think, in that regard.
Yeah. Well, Jeff, I appreciate you joining me tonight, and I hope you have a fun time covering that game on Friday night. Hopefully it's a good crowd, and hopefully it's a nice warm building, so you guys won't, it's in the dome, so should be warm.
72 and sunny inside the Fargo Dome, so it'll be fun. But nice talking, Chris, anytime.
All right, that's Jeff Kolpak from North Dakota State, who covers the Bison. We'll be right back here on HerbFM Radio. We have a special here on HerbFM Radio. We have Sefford Dean, who does the writing for the Land of Sentinel, does the Florida State beat. So, Sefford, thanks for joining us. What in the world is going on in Tallahassee? That's the question I have for you right now. We got Coach Taggart now, and Coach Taggart's getting all his got a nice running back coach today. So we'll just talk about the mood around there in Tallahassee.
I think it's a lot more ease than it was maybe a couple weeks ago. Kind of after that Florida game, Jimbo Fisher, left for Texas A&M, but there was a good week or two where it was very, very contentious here in Tallahassee. Jimbo Fisher, repeatedly offered no comment when asked about, if he was going to leave for Texas A&M, and sure enough, finally a day before MSU's season finale against Louisiana Monroe, resigned and took the Texas A&M job. Became the richest, signed the richest deal in college football history for a coach, 10 years, $75 million. And I think FSU's definitely had some ease now. 5 days later, they hired Willie Taggart. It's been about 8 days since, Taggart has been in control now, and he's picked up a running back coach. He needs to pick up a few more coaches. He needs to do a little bit more on the recruiting trail, but I think it would be all right, after the signing period and then for the next one in February.
Yeah, so talk about the signing period. There's an early signing period next week, and then the national signing period is in February, so I guess they have 2 windows to get people?
Yeah, there's 2 windows now, and, originally a lot of coaches, even like Jimbo Fisher, were a big fan of the early signing period. If you have a staff that's been in tow for, several years, you did your recruiting work early throughout the year, and you had players that were ready to get on board and jump on board. It was great for a situation like Florida State was in before with Jimbo Fisher. Now you see the other side of it with Willie Taggart. FSU, a lot of kids decommitted. I think I lost track of the count, maybe 8 or 9 or even 10 kids. FSU's now ranked 48th nationally. The recruiting class, and that's very, very far from what they've had under Fisher, where every year was a top 10 class. So I think Willie Taggart's going to try to get whoever he can signed for this first period. And also, there's going to be a nice little number of players, especially, some better players, some more blue chip 4 or 5-star kids that FSU probably has to, work from behind and have January and February to, woo their way. But, the better players aren't going to sign early.
Right.
We want to keep the options open here what everybody has to say, and I think Willie Taggart and whoever's on his coaching staff could make a nice pitch and try to land some better players even in that second signing period in February.
Yeah. Well, I want to go back to the Jimbo Fisher thing. You covered the team more than, you're down there, you're there for practice and all that stuff. What went wrong at Florida State? What happened in your eyes?
I think this season, if you could sum up this season, really shortly, like I'll try to do here, they, everybody was really excited about this team. They were 10-3 last year, 10-3 the year before that. DeAndre Francois could have been a Heisman candidate maybe, and he gets, blows out his leg, in the first game of the season. That really took a turn for FSU. And even having that hurricane in the beginning of season 2, they had to wait about 3 weeks until they could play another game. They never really got into a chemistry. They never really got into a good flow until maybe about Boston College after they lost that game. And they dropped to 2-5 this season. But even at that, Jimbo Fisher was hearing some calls from Texas A&M, or his representatives were at least. Maybe I would say October, November time. And sure enough, his relationship with Scott Woodward, the AD at Texas A&M, back to their days at LSU, was enough to kind of sway Jimbo Fisher, and also that Rich's contract that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
So I think Jimbo Fisher finally realized maybe his message was being, a little less received nowadays here at FSU than it was in the past. He saw an opportunity at Texas A&M that, they haven't won a national title since 1939. I think he could definitely go and mold that program into something and maybe contend for a title there, even though you're in the SEC. And it got really contentious. Jimbo didn't want to be like Nick Saban, who said, I'm not going to Alabama, when he was with the Miami Dolphins. And then sure enough, he was with Alabama, a couple weeks later. He tried to do right by everybody with his comments, but in the end, it didn't do anything well. Just like if you were to say, I'm going to go or I'm going to stay. So.
Yeah, it just seemed like to me, like I know the team had injuries and 6-6 record, but I felt like he should have just stayed around next year because you can't help it with an injury season. It's not your fault. Having a quarterback going down against Alabama and then the hurricane and all that stuff. I think he did a good job keeping the team from literally derailing itself.
Well, I don't know if he kept it from it. I think it definitely did derail.
Yeah.
Drop 2-5, then you lose at Boston College. Needing to reschedule a game to become bowl eligible. There was a lot of things that, and 3 of these losses came late in the fourth quarter, maybe in the final minute or so.
Yeah.
Just silly mistakes or things that FSU, the plays that FSU was getting in the past, they didn't get them this season, and it ended up piling on for the team, and it was kind of souring in for everybody, and now they have I guess better days ahead, maybe.
Yeah.
With Taggart and Helm and a really good roster coming back next year.
Yeah. Well, Satrin, I appreciate you joining me tonight. I know you're a busy man. We'll talk real quick before I let you go. The Independence Bowl. What do you see from them? Getting ready for the game against Southern Miss, who they haven't played in so many years.
Yeah, that used to be a really good, rivalry you could say back in the day between the two independent schools when they were independent. I think this time around Florida State, I'm kind of interested to see how the players perform because there are a lot of coaches that are coming and going. Tim Brewster, Jay Graham, some other guys there definitely might be, either heading towards another job for to work with another coach, or Willie Tiger's going to try to add some guys in here too. You don't know how many players or how many coaches are going to be left over coaching the players for the bowl game. I think that's probably my biggest concern for FSU, but I think they should be able to, stand toe-to-toe with Southern Miss. They're 8-4, 9-4 team in Conference USA, having a really good year. I think FSU definitely has the talent and has enough going for itself to really, win the bowl game. And after all, this is history for the Seminoles. It's 36 straight bowl games in a row for them.
Yeah.
A great streak, and if they win, they'll have a winning season. That'll be 41 in a row for them too. So they have a lot at stake, a lot to play for. And I think with all that in mind, they definitely do pull out a victory.
All right. Well, Satrin, thanks for joining us tonight, and I hope you and your family have a wonderful holiday season, and I hope to talk to you more down the road.
Same to you, Chris. I really hope the same for you guys as well.
All right. We'll be right back here on HerbFM Radio. All right, folks, so sweet sound of Neil Diamond right there in Sweet Carolina. And we're going to wrap up the show here with the head coach of South Dakota State, John Stingheimer, who I talked to this afternoon. So thanks for joining us, folks, who have a wonderful holiday season. And we'll talk to you on December 27th right here on HerbFM Radio. So have a good night, everybody.
It's like, okay. So you ready to go?
Ready.
All right.
Hello, everybody. I'm here with Coach Stiegelheimer, who is the head coach of the South Dakota State Jackrabbits, and they're going to make the trip east to take on JMU this Saturday afternoon at 4:30. So, Coach, thanks for joining us. Last week, I talked to you. You took on New Hampshire, and you guys jumped on New Hampshire